Very good day everybody, and welcome to another video. This is your personal funky sim pilot. My name is Arkady Gidzenko. I will be your captain for today's flight. And today's flight will take us from Detroit to Minneapolis St. Paul Airport, Minneapolis, Minnesota. We're flying the TFDi design MD-11 with the old Delta livery. We're using real-world time and real-world weather, GSX, and the Aerosoft simple traffic tool. The en route flight time, I believe, is about 1 hour 55 minutes, something like that. Or maybe that's the total block time. It's not a very long flight. It's been a while since I've flown this baby on the channel. And I don't think I've actually ever even loaded this livery. This livery, I downloaded it for free from flightsim.to, so you can just go check that out. I really like it. When you get up close, it might look a little bit fuzzy, I guess, but it is really old. It's really old school livery. I like it a lot. So the MD-11, it's a different type of beast, a little bit Airbusy, a little bit Boeingy. And well, for the engines, it's an interesting airplane, and I've gotten into trouble in it quite a number of times on the channel. So hopefully today will be a little bit better. I did not train, basically just didn't even fly it, I think ever since I flew it on the channel. I did watch a short little video about the takeoff procedures, but I didn't even watch it. Like after 5 seconds I saw what I wanted to see. And I didn't feel like checking it all out. So we might run into some things that do not work, or some procedures that I'm not aware of, and therefore things that do not work. So we're standing here at the gate at Detroit Airport, and we're hooked, as you can see, and especially here to the external power, ground power unit. So let's hop on inside. I guess we might just start boarding process immediately, because it is quite a big airplane. So request boarding. Requested. And Delta Airlines. So all kinds of stuff should start to happen outside now, but we'll just for now focus on the inside. So as I said, it's totally different type of aircraft, different type of EFB. But basically what we're looking for is here, and the rest that we can't find here, we'll still have here in Navigraph. So waiting for reaction, open aft cargo door. So let's see if this is, well, it looks like this is already opening. So that's one of the things I mean, you know, like GSX, it is beeping at us, waiting for your action, but it's actually doing it itself. So it is technically not waiting for your action. And it can get a little bit confusing. If I now had to click the door, then it might have closed and opened and closed and opened again, whatever, you know. It's like shooting a gun. Then take the target, run towards the tree and put the target on the tree and wait for the bullet to arrive. I would like to board crew.
Pilot's boarding starting.
Oh, thank you very much. Alright, let's go back inside. So we got Kilo Delta Tango Whiskey to Kilo Mike Sierra Papa, MD-11. So airtime 1 hour 37 minutes, 40,000 feet, cost index 200. We have the MiGi 3 departure, and then we have the Muscle 3 arrival. We do not see our runways on here. Send flight plan to FMC. That sounds nice, but I think we cannot do that yet, so let's just start up the aircraft first. It is totally cold and dark, and I know I do not have this aircraft down completely. Other aircraft, certain things I sort of do without even thinking, but this one I know that I should get it to work, but I do have to read a little bit. So the battery is on. I think we can arm the emergency power as well. Generators, and let's see. navigation system.
Your crew
Power
has
off.
boarded. Passengers boarding starting.
This is the hydraulic pumps. This is the electricity. So where do we have external power? There it is, available. We'll turn that on. So external power is now on. And anything else? So some of the lights. Nav lights can go on. Let's turn on the logo lights. And we can arm the emergency lights. Fuel, we're looking at 9,000 kilograms of fuel now. Fuel 9,000 kilograms. So I'm not sure what all is in this EFB. We got 357 passengers. But can we see them in this aircraft? There they are, and they also actually stay seated. Let's go a little bit quicker. Get to one of our seats here. I don't think it looks like it. That's a bit of a shame. I really like the seats. Very nice. Anyway, let's get back to the flight deck. Better than fuel set. We got block fuel, 17,437 kilograms. 17,450. That's what it rounded up to. That's sitting there. So let's turn on the no smoking. And the seatbelt sign can go to on. I don't believe this works in this simulation. Bit of a shame. It's always cool when you can go. Alright, so just take it a little bit easy here. Send flight plan to FMC. That would be nice. FMC 1, MD11 should have the correct RX cycle. So flight plan in it. And I think we should now be able to send it over. So send flight plan to FMC. Flight plan sent. So after that we can leave out flight number will be Delta 812. Cost index 200. Now the cruising altitude. Let's have a look at the LFD. So flight level 400, flight level 400. I'm not sure if there's a really quick way to see our step climb. So for now, let's just go flight level 400. I'm not sure this does initialize IRS. It requires us to do anything, check database cycle. Let's just carry on with the next page saying our weight in it page. I think we should be able to send this information in there as well. The payload and fuel, let's see. Go to payload, go back, that payload, but that's it here I think. Dispatch, set payload and fuel, did it? Maybe it does it now as well. Let's see, block fuel, 17.4, takeoff gross weight, there it is, has the numbers. I'm not gonna get too bogged up about these numbers. Page 3, we can skip this. How do we get back? Let's go forward again. There you go. So I'm going to enter the alternate airport and everything. That's another level of complexity that I will probably explore sometime later. So our departure and arrival. So the SID. We had a runway. Not sure if I actually saw what runway we had. 21 right, and that will be the MIGI 3. Come on, man. One right. MIGI 3. Do we have any transition? SLLAP. That's there as well. We can insert. They will be inserted into the flight plan. And then go to our arrival airport, top of climb, top of descent, from Minneapolis, St. Paul, and there we go to start. And I believe we had 3-5, the muscle 3. Alice 3-5 Zulu. Muscle 3. Via IDIOM. And insert. So now we should have the entire flight plan in here. So runway 21 right, and there's an intercept, so probably we'll do direct to Fort or something. Corby West, I'm not sure if your aircraft is still requiring a position, IRU in alignment. Let's go to the plan page, and we see our flight plan here. This is our departure. Let's go to our departure route. We should see for the MIGI 3. We should be seeing the same. So right turn towards Corby. And then north to Vesa, Jaxi, MIGI. So let's see, here is the airport. So we got Zasky, Greg, Dolly, and after Dolly we get Factors. Dolly, where is that? There. Let's see. So from Dolly to Rosie, can we do that? Greg and then Dolly. So runway 35. Just see here. So runway 35 from Wolves on track 257 to Loon, then let's see, then to Dolly. Expect radar factors to final approach course. Right. So Greg and Dolly. So runway 35, that would be. Why are we ending up here? What am I missing? It's not our airport. Let's have a look at the final approach chart. Rosie. So yeah, so we end up at Dolly, and then we need to be factored to Rosie. So that's a bit weird. So we'll be looking for a waypoint somewhere south, basically. So Rosie is there, so we could go Lydia. We could enter maybe some waypoints ourselves here. So instead of vector, we could say Lydia. We put that on vector. So then after Dolly, we'll fly to Lydia. Then from Lydia, it's already a lot better angle to get to Rosie. And we could use from Lydia to fly to Star, double S Star. So after Lydia, Star. And put that on vector. And then it's going to look like this. And then from Star we should go direct to Rosie. So we delete vectors. I hope we can do it like this. Then the flight plan discontinuity, we can delete that as well. And that basically makes it into this. So we're coming from Wolves, Loon, Windenbury, whatever, Zasky, Creek, then to Dolly, then we want to ensure why this is looking like it is, then by 1 second. Okay. So there's just some inset here. Weird. So yeah, we go behind this thingy to Lydia. And then from Lydia we go to Star, to Rosie, to Laura, and that's it. So can we set a range ring here? That would be nice. No, that would, but we can try this during the flight. We don't have to do it now. So the entire flight should be in now, the entire flight plan. Let's see, so the fuel page, check. I guess it's looking good. So takeoff approach. We do have a performance calculator. So our departing runway. 21 right. Now this. The 21 right. Let's see runway length. Get weather information. Also calculate, and this gives us V1 133, rotate 133, V2 153, flex temperature 59, flaps 25. -59 flaps 25, so 59. For the flex temperature. Doing something wrong here, stand by. -59. There you go. Slope and wind, I believe with -0.1 and then 9 or not. -0.1 and 9 or not. The outside air temperature 22 degrees Celsius, so you have to put in the C. That's something I remember, otherwise it won't accept it. In a way, that's not bad thinking, you know. Just figure like me, you know, you should just type it in so we just know there's no mistaking. But times lost, and then V1, so flat 25. And this gives us 133, 133, 153. That is exactly the same. So do we confirm them like this, I guess? There you go. So that's done. So I think down here we're pretty much set up. Uncage this thingy. Got a little floaty ball. Let's see. So when you pull it out, it's on, I guess. Let's set the squawk code 3121. And what is our mode here? Standby, that's okay. So we really don't have passengers. Can we look through the window maybe and see them? Oh, this is cool. Never saw this. But no passengers. Well, that's a pity. Okay, sorry about that. Got sidetracked here for a little bit. Let's get back inside. So 235 passengers out of 357. So that's a big number. I think we're basically set up here. At least the FNC has been set up completely. So let's look at the MCP. So we'll just set cruising altitude level 400. So what we do, I believe, is we turn on the auto flight button, and that should actually arm the system for a controlled speed during takeoff. I think that's really what how it works. So speed we can put in the box 250. That's already there. So maybe we can arm navigation and arm profile. And they now appear armed. We got our V speeds in here as well. That's already something. So what else? Let's get the local QNH. Just press the B button to 9085. But in case you need to change it, you will find here the battle set button. And switch between inches of mercury and hectopascal. Traffic data waypoint. So what else? So that looks good. So we have the TCAS down here. We don't have to turn that on just yet. So what terrain is on the right side here? Terrain, look at that. There's a button down here. Not that I can spot. Let's put this back to map setting. And it's terrain zone. Okay. So the flaps, we need to set the flaps 25. I'm not sure actually, does this thing have a checklist? I really like the PMDG checklist because it's not very big. It's like in front of you. Also like the one that's in the computer. It's really convenient. I don't know, maybe here, up here we have a checklist. It's empty. There's nothing. Alright, go. This was flown this thing before, so it's just common sense, most of the things. So the flaps, 25, so this has to be like a dial of flaps. I don't know who came up with that name, but they're brilliant. This is basically a stopping point at 25 degrees. I mean, I think it's degrees. Yeah, it's degrees. So you put this at 25. Because without this, it would actually go to 28. We will not set the flaps right now, although I don't know, maybe we do have a little bit of hydraulics. Can we, looking at this, we do not have hydraulics. The tail rudder. Let's just wait with that. So the MCP is set up. I don't think this has flight directives. I do not see a button, so maybe it's just all already on. Or something. So engine ignition not armed, it says here. Select ignition as required, so that's the button up here. So we could say, I'm not really sure how it works. As far as I know, just choose one and it should be good. So the hydraulic system is still down. The navs are on. Is there anything else up here we can do? Let's see where are our... these are the packs. I believe we were supposed to have the packs off for departure. Packs will be off. So we should not forget to turn them on. And we do not have a checklist in this aircraft. Unless maybe there's a checklist in here. Charge services, state options. No, I don't think so. Okay. So we got 306 passengers now out of 357. So we're getting somewhere. So yeah, a little bit bummed that we cannot see them, that they're not sitting with us. It's always nice to get in here and see all the faces, the postures. We do see them walk in. Probably also would see them walk out, but that's the extent of that. So now if we close the flight deck door, will we still hear them? If we hear the passengers, as long as we hear the passengers, I like it, then we're good. There is a button to lock the flight deck door of entry. Oh, let's lock it now. There's a master caution here. Config, generators are off, doors are open. Emergency power is on, battery is discharging. I don't really know why. I've had some issue once. I think this might be it, I'm not really sure. Yeah, look at that, there you go. The battery is now no longer discharging. But I'm not really sure what I did. I mean, I know what I did. It was actually on arm. And then I turned it off and put it back on arm again. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, okay. We're good now. So, well, here we are. Here we go. So 330 out of 357 passengers. No smoking sign on. Now we just wait. So let's have a look at the taxi route. So our departing runway 21 right. So we zoom in on our airport. One right, that's this one right here. So basically it's the one that we're looking at, if you will. So pushback will be nose to the left, and this will get us onto uniform liner. This one right here. You just follow that all the way into uniform. Take a right turn there, and I guess immediately left, huh? And then we cross runway 09 left. We'll take a right turn onto Victor. That should get us to 21 right. Something like that. It always looks a lot more complex than when you actually do it. You sort of know where to go. Except when you're doing it online, you need to know where you are, you know. And even then, sometimes I drive, take like one wrong turn, and you know, it happens. But it's nice to try and avoid it. So push back and nose to the left. That's what we need to know for now. So we could start up the APU. And this is actually the APU bleed, so APU power is now blinking, available, so it's not available yet. And I believe here you are, the APU. So the N1 percentage and the exhaust gas temperature, rising the N2. Once that's booted, we can turn on the APU bleed. Stabilizer trim. Sure how it works in this one. I think I could do it right now. But if we have a trim setting, stabilizer 510. And that doesn't work either. So that does actually appear to require hydraulics doesn't appear to be working yet, but that's okay. So the APU N1 is at 100, VGT is stabilized, 521. Okay, so boarding is completed. They close all the doors everywhere. There was this funny little door here that was open, and that is still open. So let's see if the APU is now on. So we turn on the APU bleed. Then we can disconnect the external power. So services disconnect. Remove the wheel chocks. We might need to set our parking brake. And do we have enough hydraulics for that? Doesn't look like we do, unless it was just, yeah, there was something with this system, wasn't? There you go. Okay. So do we have a brake pressure accumulator thingy, like a little meter to show us how much hydraulic pressure is remaining? Brake pressure is this one. So if we do this a couple of times, it should be empty. Let's just play around with it, and so parking brake released. That shouldn't do anything. Well, actually a little bit. And then we set the parking brake again. Actually zoom in here a little bit more. There you go. Holding the toe brakes is already like pumping it empty. Alright, so we do have parking brake set, but you can see it's modeled that when you use it a couple of times, you're out of brake pressure and you will need to have the hydraulic pumps on and everything. Alright, so we are on internal power on APU. Let's turn on the beacon. We will be starting our engine shortly. Let's call GSX. And that's a nose to the left. That will get us onto the uniform line. So prepare for pushback and departure. Okay, so far so good. And this little door, who's closing this little door? What is happening with this?
Hello, Captain. We're ready for pushback.
But he has no clue, man. That's not... Well, I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Departure check completed.
It looks similar to this, but then a lot bigger. So this is the APU, but the APU exhaust, I guess. Beautiful airplane.
Locking gear.
Alright, let's get back inside. I think we are all set up for now. There the nose is being lifted now. So nose to the left, tail to the right.
Release parking brakes.
I can do that.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Copy. Alright, so to start the engines, was it all down? Yeah, that's all down here. So you got the engine start button. And we have our N2 readout here. Once it reaches around 10, then we can introduce the fuel. curious about that little door. Why is it open? What is it? What the hell is this door? Why is there a door open on my plane? I would like to know. I have to look that up. I wonder if it will auto-close at some point. The AGT 407, still rising. We're on uniform line. Nice pushback. We do have hydraulics now, as you can see. The rudder, tail rudder is now straight. Alright, 405, engine number 2, start.
Set parking brakes.
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
Let's just go and confirm. I don't feel like hearing that beeping the whole time. The engines will start anyway.
Around. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
So a lot of these systems are automatic. The APU bleed is still running. We need that to start our engines. I'm guessing we would need it for all engines. Or is it only for the first? An interesting question. Engine number 1, finally.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Thank you. Where's George? Hey man. Check, thank you. Briefly, we'll wave at us twice. Hello, bye. Okay. Yeah, so we see you. Have a good trip. Okay. 3 running engines. So what we'll do now, let's have a good look. We can turn off the APU. That's already turned off, actually. Or isn't it? Turn off the APU bleed. So now we are using the packs. So let's leave these running for a little bit until we get to the runway. Our strobe light. Do we have a strobe light? Beacon logo, nav, runway turn-off lights. Actually, let's turn those on. We'll need our taxi lights still. I don't know, it doesn't have a beacon light, or sorry, a strobe light. Or just, maybe it comes with the nav lights, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I think we're pretty much set up here actually. Config flaps. Well, let's set our flaps and our trim. Let's go to the flight plan page. Our trim, we can monitor our trim light here. And we'll put that on 5. So that's the trim set. And this also has an auto brake, so we put that to takeoff. Then our flaps. We go to the flap 25 setting that we just did with the dial flap. That's the range. I think are the flaps still traveling? So when we release the brakes, they should become a green box. So let's see if that's going to work. Parking brake released. Spoilers. We need to arm the ground spoilers for takeoff. And that is our green box. So the parking brakes are released. Let's see if they're not moving. Obviously, it's not very clever to do it like this. What do we have here? Air India. Cool. So here's an autopilot disconnect we might use on landing. So to set our takeoff, we will press the auto flight button once. And then when you progress to around 70%, I believe it's at 1, then the throttle should automatically take over. That should be the thing. So our taxi route, we're at uniform liner, so just carry on all the way to the end, and we could maybe also just cross the runway there. Cross it there and get onto Victor. Oh, we'll have to cross 2 runways. Something like that, maybe we'll do that. So we'll just go straight, we're at uniform liner, straight. And then keep left to cross runway, turn right, cross runway, and then we wrap our runway. Okay. So if everybody's good to go, and now let's do it. Let's have a look at our brake accumulator that we were looking at earlier, and we can see now it's nicely sealed. Okay, so the parking brakes are released. So let's get going. I believe this is also one of the aircraft that handles very poorly on the ground. Unless, you know, it might be simulated correctly, that could be, I don't know. But it is very, very challenging, and I believe this is one of them. This hardly turns at all. In that sense, it's a nightmare for me to taxi in this sucker. But it's such a beautiful plane, a really beautiful plane. And really looking nice in the old school livery there. So what's our ground speed? Do I have a button for that maybe? No, that's 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Ground speed test 1. Let's go engines idle, so we at least don't accelerate. Maybe we can brake a little bit. So keep left, cross the runway, turn right. Okay, so this kind of angle should not be too much of a issue. I must say the markings on the ground are pretty much gone, right? Looks really weird. Maybe I turn off photogrammetry to experiment with something. That might actually be it. I'm not really sure why this is looking this crappy. But we'll cross this runway if there's no traffic. So then for our turn to the right, let's see how the hell we're going to pull this off. So it's simply not turning. This is what it's doing. So we have to go like one knot of speed, which is nothing. As you can see, it hardly turns. This is like full rudder. So obviously you'll need a tiller, and I do not have a button set for it. We cross this runway first. Well, speed's getting a little high, I guess. 40 knots. Two on right. There's really a 2-1 left, still somewhere. I think it's right here, okay. This looks really bad. I'm not sure if it's my settings. So just because this aircraft taxiing is such a handful, I will just first get onto the runway, and then afterwards we'll just turn on the landing lights and everything. So as you can see, it is hardly turning. It's ridiculous. I haven't looked it up, maybe there's something I'm missing. I guess the more we'll fly this one on the channel, the more things I will look up as well, you know. This is really like taxiing through mud. Okay. First turn on the landing lights. So we'll turn off the packs now for a bit. Okay, so the packs are off. Cabin pressure. I think this is all done automatically. Auto brake, takeoff, seatbelts, no smoking. Air system is in manual, that's because we had to turn off packs. And then pack 1, 2, 3 are off. We got the little green thingy there. So let's get rid of that master warning. Those V speeds are V1 133, rotate 133, V2 153, and then after takeoff we'll take a right turn and we'll basically just go to forts. We could choose direct forts maybe, but let's just do that, direct intercept. No, not yet. Let's just go back flight plan. Okay, so that's what we'll do. Try and follow the crosshair of the flight direct. So what do I have here? Profile is armed, that's our climb. Nav is armed, that's our navigation. Pitch, not really sure how to interpret that. But there it is. Let's reset the altimeter to 9085. And we click auto flight once. Where's the timer? Actually, I would like to set a timer to monitor our elapsed time. Flight directors. Timer. Up, down, push. Okay. Up, down. Up. Where? What? This one. Push, does it then start to run? Totally not not sure. Appears to be the time 18:05. Should be 18:06. So let's refresh the time again. Not sure if this is a new thing. Something that maybe just always happens. I don't know. Maybe sometimes when you go out of the menu, it doesn't refresh afterwards. So maybe that's it. So the time is there. Let's just get going. No more procrastinating. So now I'm not sure if we clicked the auto. No, we didn't. So auto flight. Is there anything? And then that box should go. Okay, so that's looking good. Let's see if this works. So the parking brakes are released. So let's set the thrust. There it goes. It's already taking off on its own. Alright, so positive rate, gear up. And I think I'll just immediately turn on the autopilot. Here's a turn to the right, outer marker. Well, I guess we're still okay. Just I cannot really see what the flaps want. Yeah, I'll turn on the autopilot. So AP on. See it anywhere, AB1, so pitch nav 1, profile to 40,000 feet, climb plus 7,000, so I think it is, let's see, on our way to Foros, at Foros we should be 4,000, really sure what the 7,000 there means, but I guess we're good. Flaps can come up now. I think. So there she is, departing from Detroit. And it looks like the aircraft might be holding at 7,000 feet. The pack 1, so let's turn on the packs immediately. We'll put it back from manual to auto. That should turn on the packs, and the message is gone there. So the auto brake can go back to off. Ground spoilers are disarmed. And the nose lights can be turned off as well, and the runway turn off lights and the wing lights. So we're at 7,000 feet now. Beautifully gorgeous airplane. Alright, so let's see what's going on now. I think we're still holding 7,000 feet, and that will be Arkady. It's coming up. We are not allowed to go above 7,000 feet at Arkady, so it looks like actually the VNAV is working. And I do not remember seeing that in the Airbus, but maybe it's only on the way down it doesn't work. I get confused after like so many airplanes. So run time is working at 4 minutes. And let's see, we can get our top of climb on here. And then the top of descent, not very long after, just a couple of waypoints, and there's the top of descent. So weather-wise, not really sure if we can get the weather through here. Don't think we can. Discharge services, but services is just like ground services and all those things. State is just like a state load kind of thing. There's some options. Discharge, performance. Can we get something on the performance page maybe? Alright, so something's happening. Let's go. So on our way now to Vesa. Vesa is 50,000 feet or above. Rather, I think they say at or above 15,000 feet. So at 18,000 feet we will switch to standard pressure, but we are now at local pressure. We're at 10,000 feet now, and the nose is dropping. So we can turn off the landing lights. And we can also put the seatbelt sign to auto. So Minneapolis said, well, we can get weather information, but I would like something of a meter. But I guess this works as well. So wind 360, and our landing runway was 34. So a right, or runway 34. I don't think there's a right, just runway 34. So 360 was very good. Temperature 13 to 976. So we can just keep hitting this, I guess, because this is actually our arrival airport. And what, you can put in any airport here. Could we put in JFK for instance? That is pretty cool. I really like this. So basically, it doesn't, I mean, you will always use the weather that's set there anyway, but still it's pretty cool. So that's that. So climb close to 40,000 feet now. We're passing 18,000. So you pull for standard pressure, 2992. And let's increase the range so we zoom out effectively. I really like the buttons, pressing the button system here instead of turning. Very convenient. So top of climb coming up there, so let's level it out. So unlike in the Boeing, I don't think we have, well, we do have a progress page, but I don't think it will say to top of descent or whatever, but let's see what we can see. Progress now, let's see, from Odessa to Jaxi. After that will be Megi, and maybe this works the same as we saw. I've forgotten what airplane, maybe it was actually the Airbus. So if you put next waypoint, no, that was destination. Yeah. Anyway, so after that will be Megi. Temperature, wind. I think usable fuel on board, 40.5. I'm not sure what the U stands for. Could make sense, right? So we're on destination runway 35. Estimated time, I don't know, ETO. Anyway, 1929. And the time now is 18:17. So that's in about 1 hour and 11 minutes. So we have this on the progress page. That's good to remember. So wherever we are, we can just hit progress, and we'll see destination runway 35. Estimated time of, well, arrival, I guess, 1929. Distance to go, 498 miles. So that DTG actually just stands for distance to go, as far as I know. Estimated fuel on board upon landing, 6.4 thousand kilograms of fuel. So that's the progress page, and it has a second page as well. What do we have there? Now we can put in a fix. Let's have some fun with that now. So let's go to the plan page. Go to flight plan. And we get to our arrival, our approach actually. We can lower up. So let's say for runway 35 we want to set a fix, like a leak around it. You should be able to do it by clicking here, LoRa, and then either we type in RW35 or we put in the entire ICAO code plus 35. So LoRa, and it doesn't say fix here, does it? It says airways, hold. Remember that this FMC looks a little bit like the Airbus. Let's try another random waypoint, Money, bar, airways, hold. No. So I think the way to do it... Oh, there's actually a fixed page. There's a fixed page. That is so awesome. I think I'll just try immediately Kilo Mike Sierra Papa 35. Not in database. I remember maybe we had some issue. So RW 35. And it also says not in database, so that's a little bit weird. So do we need like /? So Minneapolis, St. Paul. /, I mean, you know, what options are there? RW35 or just 35, you know? Just keeps us saying not in database, you know? Well, let's see if I can find anything. Looks like that's an answer to my question. So, looks like it's not possible to set a range ring around a runway. It says it does not support drawing range rings around arbitrary fixes, including runway thresholds. This is a limitation carried over from the Boeing-style FMS design in the MD-11. The legacy PMDG MD11 fixed page, but this is not about the PMDG. Let you specify a radial from the fix, but not a radius, and there is simply no function to draw a circle around the waypoints on the navigational display. But this was in 2009. Let me just check, because I was actually looking for the TFDi design. Right, so going on here, altitude, so we're almost at cruising altitude now, 40,000 feet. Totally forgot to turn on the T-gas. I'm not saying I'm missing it, but it just needs to be correct until I get totally crazy, then we can turn it off. So let's see what they're saying now. So that SMS fixed page is based on the Boeing style logic of the legacy MD11, and it does not let you draw circles. So you only get the 2 nautical mile range link when you're in TCAS mode. At a 10 nautical mile range setting, there is no fixed page range link feature. Okay, no pity. Looks like it doesn't. That doesn't work. All right, well, we'll do without. So back to flight plan. So we're now on our way to SLAP. Did we set our passengers free? I think we did, right? We did at 10,000 feet when the nose came down. Okay, so that's an auto. So, I'm not sure about you, but I am definitely curious about that mysterious door that was open. Because if I were a door, I would not want to be open at this speed. It looks like it's open. I have no clue what the hell this is. This is like... venting something. This is so interesting. I never noticed it before. I do not remember noticing it. And that's heavy metal, man. Nice to see how the paint has worn off a little bit around the connection points of the windscreen wipers. I must say this, not sure if it's livery or if it's just, I'm thinking it's a little bit of a low-grade livery maybe. Because it looks a little bit pixelated. I'm not sure if that is because of the base model or if it's actually, but I would assume it's just what was used by whoever did it. I'm not complaining at them at all. It's free, you know, people doing this stuff in their free time for no money at all, you know. It's just, they just love doing it. You know, so it's all good. But I do point it out when I notice it. And I wonder what it is, whatever causes it. It could be the developers' limitations. But I'm guessing actually probably the one who made the livery. But Who knows, man? It doesn't matter. I'm happy with it. I really like it. Look at the colors and the shapes. Just I downloaded this because it looks cool, you know, and not. I didn't even check the quality or anything. I never really do that much, really. But I mean, this, you know, I'm sorry, but maybe there's something I could do with my settings as well. So maybe actually it's just doing exactly what I want, giving me low graphics. So again, I'm not dissing whoever made this for free. So if anything, I'm telling them thanks because it's cool. Anyway, enough about that. I want to get overly dramatic. That's not the intention. So 40,000 feet, 2992, and it's nice to have the progress page. 1931. So it would be nice if we had a countdown or anything, something, you know. But we do have top of descent coming up, and then a couple of waypoints, and we'll also see here where the top of descent will be, or we have a top of climb coming up. I should say this is the top of descent. No, that's the top of descent. Wait, I'm talking out of my behind. So on our way to Dini. So let's go flight plan. So we're from SLLAP to Dini, IDIOM, Shea, Camaro. Dini, IDIOM, Shea, Camaro, top of descent. There you go. So we'll see how that goes. We either just dial in the very lowest waypoints or the very lowest altitude. Speaking of which, let's have a look at that. So our arrival runway was going to be 35. We have ILS Zulu approach. So we have the ILS Zulu or localizer approach for runway 35, so the final approach chart. The final approach course 350. I think the SMS knows it. Localizer 110.905. Probably just on the NavRat page. We could put it in. 110.905, I believe it was. 110.905. And the course was 350. So 110.905, 350. So that is in. And then I guess, we have the performance page as well. Look at that, to top of descent. So we do have a countdown. Yeah. Totally forgot. We have the performance page, and that has it has climb, but that's now gone. So we now have 1 of 2 instead of 1 of 3. Climb, I think, and then econ cruise, and you got the descent. Descent forecast. So I guess we can also get some wind. Although doing this now, I think it doesn't work or something, or I'm not sure how to do it. But I don't care too much to fix it now. The last page was also something. Aircraft status. Approach page here, take off and approach. So we do have our current VREF speed, 141, and then we add 5 for wind, correction 146. If we go flaps 50, then our speed will be 143. I like that, let's do that. Or maybe, since I'm not very familiar yet, let's try 35 for landing. We can always panic and potential safety and crash. So maybe let's keep it at 35 for now. So is there anywhere we can set the radio altitude? It should be here. Or at least the decision height. I always like to use radio altitude so I don't have to think too much. And we have the 3,000 feet target altitude. Elevation 834 feet. I think we can go 106 from the radio altitude. Where do we see this value change? Oh, there it is. Radio altitude. So just put that at 100. Should be okay. Right, so radio altitude set as well. We already set up a couple of things. We have our VRAF speed. Is it shown here? That would be nice. Doesn't do it, but it would be 146 with flaps 35. Then we have our localizer frequency in the navrat page, 110.995. We also have our or the ILS frequency. We have 350 for the final approach course, and we have 100 feet for the minimum. So 3,000 feet we can set at. I think we can set it right now on the box. Let's just do that. But we might have to initiate the descent ourselves. And I'm not sure how the aircraft will behave on its way down, if it will pause at certain constraints, yes or no, or if it will go straight out to 3,000 feet. So we'll find out. I know I've floated before on the channel, but sometimes I fly so much, and basically I just need to make projects and just fly a certain type of aircraft, like for a bunch of time in the suspension, you know, and then I start learning a little bit more about it. Flight plan, top descent after Camaro. Just doesn't say quite when. But we do have the performance page. Top descent, 27 minutes and 206 nautical miles. So that's extremely helpful. So EGT is looking good, and 2 and 1. Fuel flow, burning quite a lot of fuel. 2000 kilograms per engine per hour. back. So 19 minutes to our stop of descent. We found out a really nice little feature here. We can get the weather information. So 360 at 12, 13 degrees, 29 and 76. That's still the same, so I guess we can just use this. I'm not sure if this has the econ cruise and that's performance, takeoff approach, clean minimum speed, flat extend minimum, flat 38 minimum 146, landing weight, length, your runway, elevation, timer. Not really sure what the timer thing is. It doesn't look like we need to set the QNH or anything like you do in the Airbus. But we will need to set it here, obviously, once we pass 18,000 feet. So for now we'll just put this back, let's put this on flight plan. And the one here we can put on progress. Well, what's the performance? At the top of descent 70 minutes, so then we can have both windows open. So we're now on our way to IDIOM. So it's a bit of a shame that we cannot see the passengers. Let's say we go inside. It looks really cool, especially I like this place. That's a big kitchen, man. Look at the galley. That's a bit of a shame, right? That there is no passengers in the back. Liking this bit. I don't think I've ever been this far in the aircraft. Or I simply forgot, and I get to re-experience the whole experience over again. It's pretty big. And what, they have like 6 bathrooms here? Well, it's a big plane. Lots of people. We're carrying 357, and eventually they will all need to go. But this looks like a stage area, you know. People could perform, sing a little song, play a little bit of an instrument, do a little dance. There, and we're back to the flight deck. The top of descent 14 minutes, 111 miles. So let's see what we have when we're on the final approach, because I've been flying so many Boeings. So we have approach land. I think this is all one button for basically both the localizer and the glide slope. That's what I think looking at this. So I guess we'll see it. We'll see it when we use it. So the altitude is set now to 3,000 feet, which is the glide slope interception altitude, or intercept altitude. 3,000 at LoRa. So now the question is, when we are going to descend, will the autopilot adhere to the constraints, like at or above flight level 220 at German, for instance? So there are some hard constraints, 8,000, and then takes us down. Alright, let's go back to the map page. Give us our top of descent at Camaro, around Camaro. Here is Camaro, I think. She, then Camaro, then German, then Muscle, and something that we cannot see. We should have a couple of buttons here as well. Let's see, engine and no. Well, maybe. Hydraulics. We get the hydraulics here. We get the fuel page. config, not really sure what would config be. ND navigational display, or no display. It's probably no display, so you can turn it off. And we have a dedicated button. What is this? No, engine, ENG, engine. So we got this here actually. And one EGT and two. Here we have oil pressure, temperature and quantity. Cell temperature, environmental, I believe or not? No, EDH. No, I'm not sure it's compression and turbine, something like that. Okay. Hydraulics checked, fuel leg. So that's our electrical system. And fuel check, config, miscellaneous. Nothing there. Air will be deplete information. So it's actually quite hot, 26 degrees it looks like. Or how am I reading this? Temperature in the holding. Cabin altitude. We got all that information right here. Check database cycle. Why does it say that there? So 9 minutes on top of descent, 75 miles. So let's put it back to engines, the one that we had here. So see if there's any new weather maybe. Not sure how this thing works. When it updates, it's updated. Wind 010, 14 knots. Temperature 14. Pressure 2977. Let's see if we can pre-dial in this aircraft. 2977. No, I don't think we can. So we'll just leave it here. So at 18,000 feet, we'll look at it. So holding 40,000. So it was. I'm happy that I looked up how to use the descent, or sorry, the takeoff thrust. Because the last, at least like 2 streams with this aircraft, I didn't use it as far as I know, and what happened was I just manually, I was looking like, where is the button, is it this one, I'm not really sure. I was looking that up actually, and I couldn't find it then. And we got this message here saying something about the VADEC mode, and then you had to put it on alternate. So I'm not touching it now. But eventually I got it fixed, but it resulted in the auto thrust being turned off for the THS, I believe was it, ATS, auto thrust system. And yeah, so that was a little bit annoying. Eventually, I believe the second time around actually got it fixed, so got it working. But this time I figured let's just check it out before the flight. Top of descent, 6 minutes, 61 miles. Right there after Camaro. And then usually for the top of descent, we remember what we usually do in the Boeing. We will set the auto brakes. Let's put the auto brakes to medium. Oops. That's my controller. So you set the auto brakes and you check the landing elevation. We do not really have to set anything there, but we do have to bear in mind that where we're landing it's about 800 feet. But at some point we will have the radio altitude here, I believe, so, on final approach. So the auto brake, at some point we will have to set at final approach we will arm the speed brakes for the ground spoilers basically. So yeah, doing it without checklists obviously not the smartest thing to do. Did this have sunscreen? No, don't think so. Or are they maybe tucked away somewhere? Doesn't appear quite clickable. I'm just randomly looking for click spots. Oh yeah, and I really like this this grip, really cool with the stitching. Love it. Top of descent, 4 minutes. I do not expect the aircraft to start descending on its own. So let's monitor it. If it doesn't, we'll immediately pull the altitude turn button here. And the aircraft will go into a descent mode to reach the altitude set at. It does say profile to 3000, so it will then go to the profile mode, I guess, and I'm guessing that will take into consideration all the step descent altitudes as well. I think the only difference then is, or at least the most notable difference, is that it will not start descending on its own in 37 miles. What a beautiful aircraft. Let's get back inside and see what is the timer saying. 2 minutes 31 miles. So I'm going to start the sky dolly. That's the program that I use to record my landings. And that is recording. So double descent is basically now like 2 minutes. So let's see the progress page. 1938 is when we should be touching down. So that is like usually around 30 minutes before landing we'll start our descent. 1 minute, 23 miles. And I don't think it's going to descend on its own. I really think we will have to push that little, pull that little button back. "21 minutes or 21 miles, 20 miles. Not minutes, like 1 minute or something. So we're now 1 hour into the flight exactly. Beautiful old school style livery, man. The Delta Airlines. I really like it. It looks very good on this plane. Like it a lot. To double descent, now it says 2 minutes for some reason. But 17. Or maybe it said 2 all the time. I thought it was at 1 at some point. So 16. Still the latest information. Can we get the runway here as well? Of course we should. Look at that. Because we get the calculation for our runway. If we select a different runway, you got 5 knots of headwind. If we select this runway, we got 13 knots of headwind. 2977. We're not quite there yet, first we need to start descending. So it looks like descent is actually starting. Look at that. That's amazing. So that is actually Boeing style. So indeed it's a mix between Boeing and Airbus, because it does have a lot of Airbus formats here, and the way that you have to put it in and everything, and the way the FMC is set up. But the logic behind it is actually Boeing style. You pre-dial your altitude and it just starts going. I will try this in the Airbus one more time, but I really think I would have known that it would actually do so. So that's a pleasant surprise. So we are descending, and we can see here as well, path error to 57, 55 feet above our profile. And we can also see confirmed now, profile to 17,000, profile 22,000, 22,000. So it is following the constraints. We're now on our way to German. So from Camaro to German. Should be flight level 220 or above. Time now 1913. 1942 when we will touch down. That's about 30 minutes. So 12 feet high, that's okay. So it looks like the logic behind this is based on a final target altitude of 3,000 feet. And I guess this does not necessarily apply to us being high or low from reaching muscle. Not really sure how it works, what goes on behind the scenes, if you will. But we'll say this prediction to 3,000 for a reason. So I'm thinking it is basically looking at the big picture. I'm not really sure how that works. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not gonna go there. Thrust limits, what is this? They go around density climb. Cruise. Alright, let's go back to the birth page. So here are descending. The engines are whispering right now. Looks like we're what's happening? Are we stretching out a little bit? There you go. And the engines are going again. Although not too loud. Sure how this page works, the descent forecast, temperature, format error, okay, sure. Why would it need a temperature? Let's say minus 20. And being this aircraft, we probably have to add the speed there as well. That's saying format error. Just try 20 just to see if it's doing anything. Okay, that does something. Insert. No, we'll not do that. So can we clear temperature then? We can. Okay, well, at least we didn't break anything. So we're a little bit low now. Our engines are at 41% and what? And that was most stooling for me. There we are, descending. Sounds nice and quiet outside. Engines are still at around 41. So what's our position? We're pretty much on the profile. Now go to 11,000 feet. Let's get our flight plan. We're on our way to Wolf. Our speed 281. So standing by for 18,000 feet, and then we'll check the weather and we'll set the local pressure. The progress page, arrival 1943. So I'm not really sure this is now like an arrival time, 1943, or have I just been reading this wrong the whole time? I mean, must be it, right? I mean, well, 1932 would be like 13 minutes. Maybe these numbers change, I don't know. Our speed changes, obviously, and since, you know, well, we'll see. So, 20,000 feet. See what the weather is saying. That's still the same. So how do we address our passengers in this one? Intercom. It's probably just for hearing whatever microphone is on there. And this will open the mic. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We have started our descent to Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport. We've turned on the seatbelt signs. We'd like to ask you to please return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts. We're expected to arrive at Minneapolis St. Paul in approximately 13 minutes or so. Temperature will be 14 degrees. It will be a little bit windy today. Other than that, we're looking at pleasant weather. On behalf of Delta Airlines and the entire crew, thank you for your attention. Something like that, and I guess we can turn off the intercom audio coming in. So 17,000, so 2977. Either 77. Okay, are we also on QNH on this side? Yes, we are. That's linked. IBM 8, 19.8. Not sure what that is. That is actually our ILS, IBM 8. Oh, that's true. We'll fly. Basically, we'll fly over the airport. It looks a little bit funny here, and also because there is like this. Like a go-around procedure in there and everything. Looks a bit funny. Let's increase, decrease, go to plan. So what will happen? We're on our way to Zasky or Wobbly. And then up next will be Zasky. I'm looking at the progress page. That's not going to help. Okay, so blue. Let me zoom in now because I cannot really see very well on my screen. So Greek, so the runway is right there. So basically we're getting close to the runway. We're now at 14 miles. So basically it's like right below us because we're also quite high still. So I think it's there from the looks of it. So anyway, so we're overflying the runway basically, the airport basically, on our way to Greek and then to Dolly, and that will take us down. So let's carry on to Lydia. At Lydia is a holding point that we're not using, but it is there, so you can ignore the oval shape. And then from Lydia, we'll go to the right side onto Star, and then around here we'll turn on the localizer in this aircraft, the approach/land button. Hopefully that will do it for us. So let's quickly go back to map. So that's why it looks so funny, because we're actually flying over the airport, so it looks a little bit funky. So that's what's happening there. So we still have quite a lot of track miles to go, really, you know. If we look at, let's see, this should be on the progress page, I guess. The distance to go, still 70 miles. Because that's taking into account the entire route. So the track miles, if it were, and not the actual distance, obviously. Okay, so we can go back to flight plan page, on our way to Greek. Speed 230, 8,000 feet. 8,000 feet, that's aircraft all doing this all on its own. And I think speed management as well. So we have these three dots here, or the three lines. So it means it's in managed mode, and that is something actually we see in the Airbus. So 11,000 feet, have a look outside, there's the airport. I think it might be the photogrammetry setting I've been playing around, because sometimes some of the buildings look like a war zone, you know, and it's just the weirdest thing. And some people say you need to turn it off, the photogrammetry, even though that would seem really weird. But another suggestion might be just if you don't have it on to turn it, if you don't have it on to turn it on, you know. So as a funky sim pilot, flying to Minneapolis is very special, because I'm a great admirer of the American artist Prince. He was extremely funky and very musical, and he was a great influence on my music and obviously on many other people's. And he's from this area. He was from this area. He passed away. He was really stupid. He was using painkillers, and he was in pain, but you know, if they're not prescribed, you know what can happen. You know, you can get addicted. So and then at some point he just got the wrong medicines, or basically the wrong pills, and they just killed him immediately. They were like, it was fentanyl. It wasn't funny. It was like super heavy stuff. So it's a building down there. So yeah, so I always like Minneapolis for that reason, you know. And that's what I'm flying today. So 8,000 feet coming up. The next 4,000. I really like that it's saying this. It's updating here. Our speed 230. That seems to work out. We're a little bit higher in the profile. You can see the dot there. But it is now evening out. We go to performance, we should be a very low number. Let's go back to flight plan page. So 8,000 feet, so we should actually be already strapped in the passengers. Totally forgetting the landing lights. Let's turn them on. Let's also turn on the taxi lights and the runway turn on lights, so we don't have to think about it later. This is still a little bit of a new aircraft to me. Definitely do not have as many hours in this one as I do in the others. So it's nice to get reacquainted with this one again. But it may require a slightly heavier workload than it usually would. So that's why I'm thinking, you know, just turn those on. So what else do we need? We have local pressure. You could obviously quickly see if there's an update. So 2977, 010, 14 knots. This really hurts my brain. So, slowly take it down to Lydia, and then to where the hell is the runway? See, that's what I mean. Or I think there. 35, there you go. So Lydia, and then we'll take a left turn. We'll get there. IDMA, so we're now 8 miles out. Or at least, you know, like 8 miles close, if you will, to the airport. But we're still, if you look at the distance to go, obviously it's like 50 miles or something, 51. Estimated time of arrival 1944. Deviation, vertical deviation is like 4, basically 0, left back to flight plan. So now basically, hopefully we can get the speed under control. If this is anything like the Boeing, the moment that we are established on the glide slope, then I'm hoping that we can get to enter the control the speed. We could do it now as well, I guess. But I'd like to see for now how it plays out. So at a landing speed, we will be landing. So let's do a little approach briefing. Excuse me. So we'll be landing flaps 35. This one right here. So I think when we press down, we have. This looks like 0 for some reason. But we'll see how that's going to work. But that will be our flaps. We can start up the APU. I'm already beginning to dread the fact that we need to taxi this aircraft. So maybe I should really look that up and see if there's any information I can find that I can use, because I hope I'm doing something wrong, you know. B230, now on our way from Dolly to Lydia. So I believe the Lydia and the Star waypoints we added ourselves. Those are the two that we added ourselves, was Lydia and Star. I believe Dolly was already in there. After Dolly you should get actually vectors, so basically we're just vectoring ourselves, but we just do it too and put it in here. 26 feet low, this is negligible. So on our way to Lydia, and at Lydia we need to be speed 230. Now for Lydia, well maybe actually, what does it say? Not sure if I see a speed restriction here. We'll see. Basically the only speed control that I'm concerned about currently is just of the aircraft itself, and that we do not drop from the sky, you know. So the Paisley Park studios should be around us, around here somewhere, in Chanhassen, just out of the city center, but it's like a suburb. So Lydia coming up, you can see how weird it looks, right? When you have the holding pattern drawn here as well. Your brain tends to go like, what is what now? So basically what this means, I think, you should probably see this on the chart, and this is usually the case. So fly Lydia, Star, Rosie, blah blah blah. Now in case of a go around, you probably are to go to this VOR here, and then you turn left to Lydia where there is a holding pattern. So if we quickly look at the go around procedures, it will probably say something like that. So there's the flying cloud VOR, and then there's Lydia, and at Lydia there's the holding pattern. Okay. So directly, how do they say it? This approach, climb to 1600, then climbing left to 3000 feet on a heading of 240 and outbound over GEP. So I guess that'd be fly cloud. How does it say? GEP. Oh, I think that might be further down than 170.3 miles north. Anyway, so you get the idea. Let's just stay focused. Still on our way to Lydia, that's 6 miles. I must say, I wouldn't mind if our speed were maybe a little bit lower at Lydia, for instance 210 knots. But at 5 miles, not sure it's going to be doing that. And then star 193, so that's already better. So I guess we can just keep it like this. So the final approach speed 146 at Laura is actually in the FMS, in the FMC. That's also good to know. I will wait with automating the ground spoilers until we're basically like on the localizers, because we might need them to bleed off some of our speed. So the altitude in the window is still 3000 feet. We're now 17 miles from the ILS. Right, turning from Lydia. Okay, so now take air drag. Let's do that immediately. So it wants to reach a speed of 193 knots at star. And star is 10 miles, so we should be able to bleed that off. Especially if we're using the speed brakes. And it looks like we're a little bit high on the profile here, all of a sudden. You can see this on the performance page too. So we're 350 feet high. So that's not what we would like. It's getting a little bit low, 211, so let's see what happens when we retract the speed brakes. I'm going to put them in again. And get that vertical deviation down. So now 60 low, we're a little bit low, but that's actually good. So let's get the brakes out. Are we low? I don't understand. It looks like we're high. Oh wait, this is the, I was looking at the wrong thing. But we're good. 30 feet, that's okay. I'll explain. I was looking at the diamond here, which is obviously for the ILS, the glide zone. So yeah, we're still good. On our way to 4,000 feet. So star 193 in 6 miles. So that's the airport, basically to our left now. So let's actually look like this. How far out? 15 miles. Not quite sure if I can see it here. Maybe it's that area over there. Not really sure. Okay. So what we can do, the glide slope is coming up. That's good. And we're 3 miles from star. But our speed at star should be 193. What I will do for those couple of miles is bring our speed down manually for a bit by using the speed brakes. And then we'll take a turn. So then we'll just turn on the approach land button. See if that does anything. So the speed brakes are still out. It's quite tiny on this aircraft. Here we are turning. So let's see. Speed 192, speed brakes in. Next target is 173.
Stabilizer motion.
That's alright. We may have to use flaps in a little bit. Let's turn on approach land. And it's saying localizer. And it's saying add drag, so let's just do that. And get the flaps. There's a runway. So speed brake retracted. Let's see if we can go flaps too. Not really, haven't studied what these exactly mean. F28. So maybe we could already be at flaps 28 or something. Shall we just try that? That's flaps 28. And flaps 35. It looks like we're actually below flap 35 speed now.
Altitude.
So I'm going to do that and I'm going to drop gear
Gear.
at 11 miles.
Landing gear.
But this will cause the aircraft to get a little bit more drag. Right, so we are at our flaps. And let's see if the auto land or if the approach land will now also. Yeah, landing is armed, glide slope is armed, staying right there. Localizer. So we're in a good place. Speed 15 something. And it looks like our speed is actually being managed all the way now, still, by the FMS, so that's pretty nice. So the landing gear is down. So let's get the crew in position. Cabin crew, please take your seats for landing. So we're at 2,500 feet now.
Stabilizer motion.
Spoilers, there's the reminder, look at that, very nice, otherwise I think I actually would have forgotten. This is basically our checklist complete, green, okay? So, we got all the lights on that we need. We addressed the cabin crew, that they strap themselves in as well. We are now just chilling. 146 will be our final approach speed. That is what it's targeting. It's actually now going 148. And our position, so we're a little bit far out, going this slow, 8.3, 8.2 miles. But as long as we're stable, I'm good. As we're flying here, we're at 1800 feet, so the radio altitude is coming alive here as well. Let's check the weather. 2977, still the same. Okay. So we can expect about 13 knots of headwind, and we added 5. I'm not sure what the calculation is. 25, hopefully sufficient. So what do we do in case of a go around? I believe we climb to 3,000 feet, turning left, but I don't have it. It's in the FMS as well, but not really sure what to. There are some things you have to look out for then when you do that. Like certain types of mode that will be displayed here on the primary flight display. Right, so our altitude, 1400 feet. We could take over any moment now. And we just use the autopilot disconnect button. Let's see if that works for us. Let's have a look. Here we are. Fully established and fully configured.
Stabilizer motion.
Right, so 1100 feet. So after touchdown, not really sure what to do with the, let's see, where's the auto thrust or anything. That's probably going to turn off on its own. So we'll see about that. Alright, so 1000 feet, let's turn off the autopilot. Wait a little bit until she stables out a little bit more.
Autopilot. Autopilot.
So let's see. Is it off? Let's not think too much.
Glide slope.
It's off, yeah.
Glide
That's the
slope.
glide slope warning. Okay,
Glide
okay.
slope. Glide slope.
Okay, so we're actually getting
Glide
really
slope.
low, it would appear.
Glide slope.
So let's get
Glide slope.
back up a little bit, so please
Glide
get our
slope.
nose up. Yeah, so sorry about that. So let's try that again. Now actually we're a little bit high. But let's not make too big changes. We'll get there.
400.
Looks like we're still a little bit high. It feels like we're low. But let's
300.
keep on going. So decision altitude is 100 feet.
Approaching minimum. Minimum. 100.
Okay, continue.
50. 40. 30.
Idle.
20.
Land.
10.
Better now, gently. And that's nose gear touchdown. Welcome to Minneapolis, everybody. Let's get the reversers out. So 60 knots. Can we make this one? Let's do it. We can. Flaps up. So that was it. And we're now at Minneapolis St. Paul Airport in one piece. I'm satisfied with this experience. Everything went okay. As usual, the taxiing is really a drag in this aircraft. Insane. So again, I hope I'm doing something wrong, and I'll find out then. But for now, this is all we can do. Just really slow turns. Too ridiculous. I think I pissed off my girlfriend when I told her that she treated me like shit, and I'm afraid she might be treating me like shit again because of that. It's weird to think. So pretty much the only way it would seem that you can make a little bit sharper turns is simply brake. Alright, here we are. Let's see if we can set the parking brake. Parking brake set. Cool. That, if you ask me, was a successful landing and approach and everything. I remember crashing in this aircraft, or almost crashing at some point, streaming. So it feels good to get to know this airplane as well. And looks like if you follow a little bit of the like immediately add drag and all the things, you know, then looks like she's doing what she's supposed to be doing. We did slow down quite soon or early. It's probably just a little bit insecurity on my end that I do not really feel very comfortable with the aircraft, and I'm afraid to like overspeed it, or not overspeed it, but like have come in on a too high speed approach, and then sort of you know, just making sure that we're not lagging behind, just lagging in front, but then you're just going a little bit too slow maybe. But not too slow, but for the like we were at 8 miles, it was still like it was already like completely configured, you know. So that maybe it's a little bit early, but one way of getting to know the aircraft. I am curious to see that little door thingy. It looks like it's some bleed system or something, some air, some gas that comes out. It's so interesting to see this like surface, like a door. But it looks smaller. It is smaller than it looks. I think it looks like a really huge door, but looking at it like this, but still, I don't know how they figured that would work. I'm not an engineer. So there's our beautiful MD-11 by TFDi design. So go check them out. The link is in the description. It's a payload aircraft, and it's very cool. It just looks beautiful. Anyway, that's it, everybody. Thank you very much for checking. Everybody stay cool, man. Keep your loved ones close. I'll see you at the next video. Bye-bye.